You've definitely eaten their food, you just didn't know who they were. You've ordered KFC, crushed a late-night Taco Bell run, maybe even regretted a slice of Pizza Hut. But what if I told you, those aren't really separate companies? They're puppets controlled by a single invisible force. A silent empire called Yum. The brand is a $36 billion juggernaut that built a fast food monopoly by flying under the radar. And here's the kicker. Most people have never heard the name. That's not an accident, that's the strategy. In a world where McDonald's dominates headlines and Subway floods every street corner, Yum quietly runs the show in the background, controlling how millions of people eat across 150-plus countries every single day. They don't sell burgers. They sell an operating system for global food domination, so how did they get here? And how do they make billions while staying invisible? Let's go back in 1997, PepsiCo, yes, the soda giant, decided to spin off its fast food division that included KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut. Pepsi's logic? The restaurant business was too operationally messy, too many employees, too many moving parts. So they created a brand new, standalone company that spin-off became Yum Brands. And with it, Pepsi unintentionally gave birth to one of the most profitable fast food conglomerates in the world. Here's where it gets wild. Instead of building more restaurants like McDonald's did, Yum took a different path. They became masters of franchising. They own very few of their stores. Instead, they license their brand, menu, and playbook to local operators. Those operators run the day-to-day. Yum just collects royalties, typically 4–6% of sales, without lifting a finger. Think about that. Yum doesn't have to worry about hiring cashiers, cleaning floors, or running kitchens. They just hand you the blueprint, the logo, the secret sauce, and you pay them for the privilege. That's not a restaurant business. That's a money-printing licensing machine. It's why Yum's operating margin is off the charts. In 2023, they earned over $1.7 billion in profit on $6.8 billion in revenue, with minimal overhead compared to traditional restaurant chains. But here's the genius part. They didn't stop at franchising. They bundled their brands and sold them as a package deal to landlords. You'll see it everywhere. Taco Bell plus KFC. Pizza Hut plus Taco Bell, KFC plus Pizza Hut plus Taco Bell, all under one roof. These combo stores create a real estate superpower. They allow franchisees to triple their revenue per square foot, sell different items at different times of day, and optimize every part of the kitchen. And since Yum owns all three, there's no brand conflict, only brand synergy. But wait, there's more. Yum figured out that global expansion wasn't about American taste. It was about localizing fast food without reinventing the wheel. In India, they dropped beef entirely. In China, they launched their own KFC exclusive tea line. In Muslim countries, they go fully halal. They turn each region into its own franchise meta playbook, but keep the branding strong enough to feel global. It's like cloning McDonald's, but customized for every culture. And speaking of China, Yum spun off Yum China as its own publicly traded company, which now operates over 13,000 stores. That makes Yum China larger than McDonald's in China. Read that again. The secret company is beating McDonald's on its own turf in the world's most populous market. But Yum didn't build this empire alone. They did it through ruthless portfolio management. In the past 20 years, they've sold off brands like Long John Silver's and A&W. Not because they failed, but because they didn't fit the Yum strategy. See, Yum isn't in the business of nostalgia or complexity. They're in the business of high-margin, scalable, delivery-friendly, globally replicable food models. And when something doesn't fit, they cut it loose and double down on what works. Today, their innovation doesn't come from new recipes, it comes from tech. Yum now owns Dragontail Systems, an AI company that optimizes delivery timing, routes, and kitchen workflow. They've built AI order prediction tools. They've introduced automated drive-thrus, and they're investing heavily in robotic kitchens. Why? Because Yum doesn't want to own more restaurants. They want to own the infrastructure behind every fast food transaction. Their goal is simple: to be the invisible operating system for global quick-serve food. But here's the wildest part. While companies like Subway, Chipotle, and even McDonald's spend billions on marketing, Yum spends significantly less per store. Why? Because their brands are so embedded in the culture, especially in emerging markets, that they barely need advertising to grow. Their stores become local landmarks, Their menus evolve with the times, and their franchisees, not Yum of course, bear the marketing cost. In other words, Yum controls the brand but outsources the risk. They get paid whether the store succeeds or fails. That's asymmetric leverage. And it's rare even more impressive? Yum isn't satisfied. They're now testing plant-based menus, AI-powered pricing, and global delivery optimization to further reduce their operational footprint. They've built a fast food business that doesn't act like a restaurant chain. They act like a platform. And that's why Yum Brands remains one of the most powerful companies in the global food industry, despite barely making headlines. You were never supposed to notice them. You were just supposed to eat their food. You thought KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut were competing. Turns out, they're cooperating. Under one master, if you want more eye-opening deep dives into the money empires hiding in plain sight, subscribe to Money Making Mystery. Like this video if it exposed something new. Comment. In the next episode, I will be exploring why Costco sells Gold Bar and it sells out every time. This is Money Making Mystery, where we don't just tell stories, we expose systems.